Hey everybody and welcome. For our 8.3 video and questions today, we're going to be going over some more trig identities and some more solving in right triangles specifically. So the first video of this is actually going to be a little bit of specific review. We had a preview of this in class the other day, but a few things to go over. The first thing is if we have right triangles, we can use a Pythagorean theorem. And what this tells us is that if we have a right triangle with sides a, b, and c, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C does have to be the hypotenuse or the longest side. Hopefully I can spell things correctly. There we go. And A and B are actually interchangeable, so it doesn't matter which one goes where, as long as C is correctly identified as the longest side. So how we can use this is if we have two side measures, any two, they can be A and C, it could be B and C, it could be A and B, we can solve for the missing side length. So an example question, if we have a right triangle that looks like this, and let's say we have 9, 12, and we don't know this side length. Well, the first thing that I would recommend doing is always identify what has to be C. So what is the hypotenuse? So that is side length C, longest side, hypotenuse, however you want to do it. And it doesn't matter, either of these could be A or B, they're interchangeable, as long as we have correctly identified the C value. So again, longest side, always going to be there. So now we can set this up. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Plug in 9, plug in 12, and we don't yet know c. So we'll get 81 plus 144 equals c squared. We'll then add those two together, which should get us 225. And then the last step here, if it's c squared, we'll take the root. Now it is plus or minus, but you can't have a negative length. There is no such thing as a negative side length, so we're just going to take the positive. So here c is the root of 225. And again, always good to verify by punching into the calculator. I got 15. All right. Gosh, catch my breath. Sorry about that, everyone. So again, always get to verify, punch into the calculator, we'll get c equals 15. So that is the Pythagorean theorem. Now, either way works. This time we didn't have c, sometimes you won't have b. Basically, you're plugging in, rearranging things till you can get to that final square root function. The second thing to remember is triangles add up to 180 degrees. So if you're looking in any triangle with angles A, B, and C, we know that A plus B plus C, in this case, equals 180. Now, if we're in a right triangle, we're going to know that that will be 90 degrees, but in other triangles, maybe not. But again, an important property to know. So for example, let's say we're given this triangle here. We have that angle given to us, and then let's say, okay, this one's 30, and they want to know what is x. Well, again, remember, we know that that is 90 because it's marked as 90. So you got 30 plus 90 plus x equals 180 degrees. So now it's just, simply going through combining some like terms with addition, using subtraction to get x by itself to isolate it, and we'll end up with x equals 60 degrees. So a second skill that has nothing to do with trigonometry and everything to do with triangle properties and solving for the correct terms. So we're going to have